Hi there, and thanks for taking the time to watch my video. Today we're going to talk about making passive income with crypto mining, and now this is specifically targeted toward gamers or folks who already have a PC with a strong CPU and GPU combination. So, crypto mining. It's been in the news quite a bit, but is it really still worth it? If you've noticed, crypto prices have fallen by quite a bit recently. Back in the heyday of Bitcoin in the late 2017, early 2018 timeframe, Bitcoin was trading at somewhere between $19,000 and $20,000 per coin. Now, as we start to get here into early to mid-February of 2018, Bitcoin has now fallen drastically to somewhere between $8,000 and $8,500 per coin. Still a fairly decent value, but it's almost lost more than 50% from where it was at its height. And many people are already mining, so is there any profit left to be made in Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrencies for that matter? And with mining, how much can you reasonably expect to make? I'm sure we've all heard the stories about people who've paid for a Lamborghini with Bitcoin, or have bought another house with the proceeds that they've made. If you're expecting to get rich quick, probably not going to happen at this point, but you can perhaps still make some extra spending money. So let's find out exactly how much you can make. Let's start with NiceHash. Now, NiceHash is one of the larger crypto mining marketplaces that's out on the web today. It features a friendly user interface that's very easy to set up without having to do anything with Windows command prompt or typing in lines of code or text files. And it's relatively easy to set up. It's a simple program to use, and once you get it started, it's very low touch in terms of maintaining it. But first, before we get into NiceHash or any mining for that matter, let's see if it's profitable for you. You don't want to do mining if you're going to end up losing money on the deal. So, we're going to need to find a few things before we can calculate your profitability. We're going to need to know what kind of hardware you have, particularly your central processing unit or CPU and your graphics processing unit or GPU. The other piece of information we're going to need to know is what your electricity costs are in your area. In order to do this, you're going to want to check your utility bill, and you're going to be looking for the figure I've listed there, which is your dollar per kilowatt hour. This is essentially what your electric utility company is going to charge you for every kilowatt hour of electricity that your home, apartment, or condo uses. This is very important because crypto mining does take a significant amount of electricity, as it's a fairly intensive compute process. So we want to make sure that we're not spending more money on electricity than we're actually going to make in mining. So with that in mind, let's go ahead and see what we can do with NiceHash and find out if you can mine profitably. Okay, so for those of you who aren't sure where to check to see what kind of CPU and GPU you have, go ahead and hit Control-Alt-Delete on your Windows keyboard and bring up Task Manager. And from Task Manager, you'll see a plethora of different options. I'm using Windows 10, but this is generally going to be the same for Windows 8.1, 8.0, and Windows 7 users. You can go ahead and click through to see what kind of hardware you've got. So for instance, when I click on my GPU, you can see here I'm running an NVIDIA GTX 1080 graphics processing unit. And if I click up here on my CPU, you can see here I'm running an Intel Core i9-7920X CPU. Perfect. Make a note of that, because we're going to need that information when we go use NiceHash's profitability calculator to see exactly how much money that we can make. So I'll go ahead and minimize that for a moment. So what you're going to want to do is navigate to www.nicehash.com. I'll put the link in the description below so you can click on that. And what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to see if we can sell our CPU or GPU power on the web. So go ahead and come to their landing page here. We're going to want to learn more about the NiceHash miner. Up here is where you can actually go and download the miner. But before we go and download anything, let's see if we can actually make money on this deal first. So we're going to want to scroll down, and we're going to want to see what our earnings potential is. So from here, we're going to want to calculate our profitability. Remember where I showed you how to find your hardware? This is where it's going to come in handy. So we're going to start by selecting the piece of hardware that we use. So I'm going to start with my CPU first. As you can see though, the Intel CPUs don't go all the way up to a Core i9. So I'm going to use this Core i7-7700K as the best proxy. It's the highest Intel CPU that's listed. For AMD or other Intel CPUs, go ahead and try to find the CPU that works closest or is the closest match to the one that you have in your box. It may not be perfect, but at least it'll give you an idea. So we'll click on the 7700K. Now for electricity costs. I hope you have your utility bill handy. This is where you're going to want to look and see what your electric costs are per kilowatt hour. Now I'm doing everything here in US dollars, but you can certainly pick whichever currency that you'd like to use in order to calculate your costs. So for me, I'm going to look at my electricity costs here, and where I live, I have an 8 cent per kilowatt hour electric cost. So I'm going to plug in my CPU, my kilowatt hour cost, and I'm going to hit calculate. Okay, so NiceHash is saying, based on historical records and assuming a Bitcoin price of about a little less than $8,300 per coin, I can make a whopping $16.11 per month. Now, that may be a little bit underwhelming, but remember, CPU mining is not necessarily the most profitable option out there, but it's good at least that my CPU on its own is profitable. Now, $16 a month may not be that great, but it's still better than zero. So let's keep this in mind. So per month, that's about $16. Now, let's go and select my GPU hardware. I'm going to scroll down and find my NVIDIA GTX 1080. I'm going to continue to use the 8 cents per kilowatt hour cost and hit calculate. Okay, so it looks like for my GTX 1080, I can mine a month about just over $83 in profit once I subtract for my electric costs. So if I take the $83 plus the $16 that I had for my CPU, my entire computer could earn roughly $99 a month. Not too bad. I could use an extra $99 every month. Okay, so we're profitable. As we just saw, I can make an extra $99 a month using the NiceHash miner, but how do we actually translate this cryptocurrency into traditional fiat currency, or what we'd say is real dollars and cents? So what I'm going to explain is the process by which we can turn crypto dollars into dollars that you can take and buy something at a traditional brick and mortar store. So to do that, we're going to work through 4 pieces. First is going to be the NiceHash wallet, moving that to Coinbase, then moving that to GDAX, and then finally getting that into a bank account of your choice. So let's start with registering for a NiceHash wallet. So why do we need a wallet? Well, we need to create a NiceHash wallet in order to tell the miner where to put our hard-earned Bitcoin that we're going to be getting in exchange for our mining services. So what you can do is go to nicehash.com/register, enter in the information that they need. Typically they need a valid email address and a couple of other items like a password, so that you can create a NiceHash wallet and set that up in anticipation of your miner. Now once your wallet is created, you're going to receive what's called a Bitcoin address. Now this is going to enable you to store your Bitcoin mining proceeds, because without it, you're just mining Bitcoin for nothing and it's disappearing. Now your Bitcoin address is going to look something like this. Now this is not my Bitcoin address, this is just a random one that I found online. Please don't use this, otherwise you're going to be sending money to a random person. But it'll look like this. It'll have a QR barcode there on the left, and then it will have a random assortment of numbers and digits, which helps to secure your Bitcoin address so that other hackers or other folks can't exactly guess what your Bitcoin address is and try to take your hard-earned coin. Now, once we have a NiceHash wallet, that's going to allow us to get our proceeds from the NiceHash miner. But we're going to want to transfer those proceeds to Coinbase. Now, what exactly is Coinbase? Well, Coinbase is a cryptocurrency exchange, which is going to allow you to trade cryptocurrencies for US dollars. Now, there's lots of different crypto exchanges out of the market, so why use Coinbase? Well, Coinbase and NiceHash are owned by the same parent company, and thus they allow you to transfer funds from your NiceHash wallet to Coinbase for absolutely $0. Many other exchanges or other wallets will charge a transfer fee, which cuts into your hard-earned Bitcoin. Now, NiceHash does take a 2% mining fee for selling hashing power, so we don't want to pay any more than we have to in order to convert our Bitcoin into actual real dollars. So go ahead then and go to Coinbase.com and sign up for Coinbase. Again, you're just going to need your email address and password to get started on Coinbase. Now, the third step here is to register for GDAX. Now, GDAX is another cryptocurrency exchange. But hang on a second. I thought you just told me that Coinbase was an exchange. And you're right. Coinbase is an exchange, and you can certainly sell your Bitcoin on Coinbase instead of GDAX. However, GDAX charges a lot lower fee. In fact, Coinbase is going to charge you a fixed fee. For example, I sold $20 worth of Bitcoin, and they charged me $1.50 in order to sell that as a transaction fee. GDAX, on the other hand, is going to charge you 0.25%. So unless you're having a rig farm at your place of work or residence, it's probably cheaper to go through GDAX and pay the percentage fee. Now, what's really great about this is, again, Coinbase, GDAX, and NiceHash are all owned by the same parent company. So transfers from Coinbase to GDAX is free. Now you might be asking yourself, why can't I just transfer straight from NiceHash to GDAX? Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. If you were to do that, it would be considered an external wallet, and NiceHash will charge you an additional fee on top of that. Now, in order to get on GDAX, you're going to need to register. Unlike Coinbase and NiceHash wallet, you're going to need a few more pieces of information. First, you're going to need a bank account, a photo ID, preferably a driver's license if you're here in the US, and you're also going to need a webcam. When registering for GDAX, they take a picture of you in your current state and compare that with your driver's license to verify that you are who you say you are, and not some sort of crazy internet scammer / hacker who's trying to steal money. Hopefully that's not you. Now, I did say bank account. You're going to need an actual bank account in order to deposit the funds from selling your Bitcoin. Now, you want to get paid, so I would recommend opening a brand new savings account for this, just in case one of those hackers that I was talking about happens to steal your account info. That way, you're only out your Bitcoin mining proceeds and not necessarily out your entire life savings. Now, a lot of bank accounts can be opened for $10 or less for an opening deposit. That's the cost of about 2 Starbucks coffees a day. Don't drink coffee for a couple of days. You can open a new bank account and hopefully save the rest of your hard-earned savings so that you don't open yourself up or expose yourself to that kind of risk. Now that we've gotten all of the administrative pieces out of the way, we've got our NiceHash wallet created, we've got our Coinbase account opened, and we are successfully registered for GDAX. Now we can finally start configuring the NiceHash miner and start mining and earning with our computer equipment. All right, so now that we know that we're profitable and we've gotten all of our infrastructure set up in order to convert our hard-earned Bitcoin from mining into US dollars, let's go ahead and set up the NiceHash miner. So let's go back to nicehash.com, and we're going to fall on their landing page here, and instead of clicking Learn More About Selling, we're ready to download. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you download the correct miner. So if you are running NVIDIA GPUs, you'll want to download the NVIDIA version of the miner, and if you're running AMD GPUs, you're going to want to download the AMD version of the software. I am running a GTX 1080, which is an NVIDIA card, so I'm going to download the NVIDIA version. Wait for that to download, go ahead and run and install that program, and NiceHash Miner will launch. Now, I've already taken the liberty of launching NiceHash Miner, so when it loads, it should look something like this. If your miner does not load and you get some sort of error message or continually get stuck in a loading space, you may want to check your antivirus software. I run McAfee on my computer, and I know that McAfee does not like NiceHash Miner. So therefore, the way around it is to just disable automatic scanning while you launch the miner. You can go ahead and re-enable it once NiceHash has loaded. That way you're not opening up your system to additional viruses or other nasty sources of code. Now when we launch the NiceHash miner, you'll notice that yours may look slightly different than mine, in that this wallet and worker button will be grayed out. What you'll want to do first is click on the wallet button. Now what this is going to do is open up an area where you can enter your NiceHash wallet information. You can go ahead and paste in that long string of text that I showed you earlier, or you can go ahead and log in with your NiceHash account using the email and password that you previously generated so that the NiceHash miner knows to direct the proceeds from your mining to that specific wallet. Now the worker page is used for identifying your PC. Go ahead and give your PC a fun name, something that you're going to remember it by, so that it can track the statistics for how much you've mined. Like for instance, I named my computer here Beast. You can name it whatever you'd like. Also here is the configure miner options. It's going to have a number of different items in here, so you can select your language if you prefer English. That seems to be the only one available at this point. You can select your currency as well if you would like to benchmark yourself in different currencies. Go ahead to do that. You can also set a minimum income that the miner will have to achieve, otherwise it will turn itself off. And then you can also select your service location. Best here is to automatically select the service location that's best for you, but typically it's going to be the location that is closest to your geographic area. Me being on the West Coast, San Jose is the closest one there, so I have selected San Jose. Now for mining, you can also set some configurations here to just start whenever your computer is idle. You can auto start mining as soon as the program launches, and you can also use the fan control as well. I'm not a fan of enabling any of these, but feel free to do whatever you feel fit to in the configuration tab. Alright, so now we've got our configurations all set, we've got our wallet set up, our worker has been named. Let's check on our hardware. So as you can see here, I have one CPU and one GPU available to mine. And if I select hardware details, I can see a little bit more about my hardware. So I can see my CPU and GPU, and I can also expand this to see what kind of algorithms they can run and roughly how much Bitcoin per day that they can earn. So for my CPU, I can have it mine Kryptonite at 483.6 hashes per second. And for my GPU, my GTX 1080, I can run a whole host of algorithms at varying Bitcoin prices. Now what's nice about NiceHash Miner is you can individually select which algorithms that you would like to mine, or you can select all of them and let NiceHash automatically switch to the most profitable algorithm at that given time. With market fluctuations, I'd recommend just leaving it to NiceHash to determine which is the most profitable for your hardware to mine. Now that we're all set, you can go ahead and click Start to start mining. If this is your first time setting up the NiceHash miner, it's going to go through a benchmarking process. On the benchmarking process, there's a button near the bottom, a radio button that you can check to say Start mining when you're done benchmarking. NiceHash has to benchmark your hardware in order to figure out roughly how much it can make before you can start mining. So I'm going to go ahead and start mining here as an example. Now, as you can see, the command prompt window here on the left has been activated, and a new command prompt window has opened as well. Let's take a look at this command prompt window first. So one that has just opened, this is for my CPU. So what it is doing is it's mining Kryptonite, and you can tell that it is working because it has detected a new block here at my current time. Over time, it's going to continue to find new blocks and continue to add to this command prompt window line. Similarly, for my GPU, if I go ahead and open that up here, you can see that in the blue here, it found my GTX 1080, and it is successfully connected to NiceHash's servers, and I am right now mining the algorithm NeoScript at roughly 1.3, 1.2 megahashes per second. So, as you see, I am mining NeoScript right now, and eventually we'll give it a second here to see if it will successfully find a share, but you will see that success share will show up in a green text, and that's how you know that your miner is successfully mining on the network, because it is successfully submitting shares. If you see red scripts or text that's in red lettering, that means that a script has either been rejected for a particular reason, like it was a duplicate script, or it wasn't accepted by the network. That's okay and normal. You'll see those every so often. But if you see something similar to like a hardware failure or something along those lines, or a memory error, that means you're going to need to do some more advanced troubleshooting. So our miner is up and running. We can see it's finding new jobs, and it is successfully mining NeoScript. If we go back to our NiceHash miner, we can see here about how much I'm making. So with my CPU and GPU successfully mining, I'm making about $3.47 per day at today's current Bitcoin prices, or rather this many Bitcoins here. And now we're talking about not even tenths, hundredths, thousandths, 10,000ths of Bitcoin. You're not going to get a whole Bitcoin anytime soon just mining with a CPU or a GPU, but you can make, $3, $3.50 a day. less your electric costs. So not too shabby for the two pieces of hardware that I've got. Now, if I want to stop mining, all I need to do here is click the stop button, and I've stopped mining. Now, you'll notice when you're mining, your computer may or may not be as responsive as it used to be, and that's because mining is a very computational intensive process. And because of that, you're not going to be able to use your computer to, say, play a game or watch a movie online while you are mining. So I'd recommend, if you only have one computer and you're using this for gaming, while you're gaming, turn off the miner. But when you stop gaming or when you stop streaming, go ahead and turn the miner back on to get some extra cash. I hope you found this video useful. Definitely give me your comments and feedback in the comment section below. I appreciate that. Hit that like or subscribe button if you found this video helpful, and I hope that you have fun mining with the NiceHash miner and hopefully make a couple extra bucks or two. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in future videos. Take care.